Namaste. Free the land, beloved. Come on in, come on in, come on in. My name is Vicki Dillard, and I'm a very proud contributor right here on FlyNubianQueenTV.com, the network for melanated people just like you. Welcome, welcome, welcome to our broadcast today. We're so pleased that you have joined us, beloved. We are in an amazing new year, and it's amazing because we're co-creators and we can actually do a little something about it. We may not be able to control everything, beloved, but we certainly want to make some creator moves this year. Somebody talk black to me. Just a little bit of housekeeping before we get into our most important war briefing today, beloved. As you come in, please come in giving us the thumbs up, thumbs up. Be sure to like, be sure to share. You can text the word Queens to 31996 so that you're able to receive phone notifications when we go live from time to time. Also, beloved, we want you to be sure to check out our store where you can receive all types of apparels and products, pro-black products and apparel at shopfnq.com. That's shopfnq.com. Thank you so much for joining us today. I see a lot of you wishing me happy birthday. My birthday was on the 2nd. Thank you all so much. This was absolutely amazing. The VHAB made this birthday the best yet. And hearing from you all over the world literally blew my mind. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go to my Instagram page at Vicki X Dillard. You'll see all kinds of posts, or my Twitter page at Dillard Vicki, my last name first. Thank you so very much. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, family, as you come in. Be sure to like, be sure to share. I am looking forward to having this discussion with you today. And I want us to think very deeply about the implications of the story that I'm getting ready to get into in just a moment. Instagram, I'm going to need to use this device. So I want you to get ready to come on over Instagram to FlyNubianQueenTV.com. Come on over Instagram to FlyNubianQueenTV.com. By the way, family, you can follow me on Instagram at Vicki X Dillard. Follow me on Instagram at Vicki X Dillard. Thank you so very much. This is so, so very important. All right. Just one moment, beloved. Just one moment. Let's see. Just one moment. Give me just a second here. Let me get this together. Thank you so very much. It's had a little bit of an interruption. All right, here we go. The story that I'm going to share with you today is a disturbing one, but it manifests the reality, the nature of our open enemy, which you know I consistently and regularly talk about. When we think about the text that I refer to often, 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 3, when it talks about the man of sin. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, the man of sin, not the spirit of sin, but there's an actual man or a people that's considered, that's styled in one translation as a man of sin. Another translation, it's referred to as the man of lawlessness. And we can see by and through the behaviors of Donald J. Trump and his entire administration, you can see a great example of that man of sin, where laws, rules, regulations, policies, codifications, and procedures have nothing to do with anybody else. They have nothing to do with the white supremacists, that is, but they only apply to Black people. Are you hearing me? The man of lawlessness. You see that even though certain laws and rules and regulations were abided by for this election, Trump is doing everything that he can to illegally overturn it. Now, you all know I don't have any love for one party or the other, but I'm just showing you a very clear manifestation of what we're experiencing. Thank all of you that are giving. I bless your gift 1,000-fold. Thank you, SM, sister. You remind me of Deborah in the Bible. Thank you so much for your kind words. Walaikum salam. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, family. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Thank you for your kind words, dear family. And to the Beehive. The man of sin, the man of lawlessness, you must pay attention to these particular traits so that you are not ignorant of your open enemy's tactics. Are you all hearing me today? Now, I want to start off this week's show, this year's show, with this important story, because as I often remind you, we are at, somebody finish it. We are at it's a very real war. We're engaged in a white supremacist war that has been amplified, dear family. And the only reason a lot of black folks are going around talking about they're shocked and surprised is because white folk told you you overcame. White folk made Dr. Martin Luther King a hero. Somebody talk black to me. White folks killed the United States government, murdered Malcolm X, murdered Dr. Martin Luther King, and then turned around and tried to give one of them a holiday and a stamp. Are y'all hearing me? Yes, it's a spiritual war first, but it's a natural war because you're being murdered. Somebody black talk black to me. Are you hearing me today? It's a war on all fronts. Now, let me get straight into the story because I want to really elaborate on it in a different way. You always know that I like to connect the dots with what we're dealing with now and things that we've dealt with in the past. And again, I want to emphasize the only reason some of you silly Negroes, some of you, now all of you ain't silly Negroes. And even for the silly Negroes that are silly Negroes, this is an opportunity for you not to be a silly Negro. Take this as an opportunity to see yourself and change. Now, I was saying silly Negroes because some of you actually drank the Kool-Aid of the white supremacists who told you you overcame. They murdered both of these men. They tried to destroy other major black leaders, such as the Honorable Elisha Muhammad, such as folk that were engaged in SNCC and CORE and the Black Panther Party and others. Are y'all hearing me? And after they murdered them, after they killed them, they put them before us. They whitewashed their past. And then they told you that these folks were our heroes, and they only emphasized the nonviolent acts of Dr. Martin Luther King, or they only highlight a part of a certain speech that he gave, talking about I have a dream speech, which it wasn't technically even called that. And they don't care anything about him rebuking America, calling America out because of her violence. They don't care anything about the fact that he demanded reparations for black folk. They don't care anything about the fact that in the last couple of years of his life, he was on record as saying that there were limitations to the legislative activism that he was engaged in. There were limitations to the Civil Rights Act and the Voting Rights Act. He began to emphasize the need for economics. They don't teach you about that, Dr. King. But of course they're not. Because The people that raped you, sodomized you, stole you, set you on fire, destroyed you, traumatized you, and continue to do so today are not the individuals that are going to tell you the truth about your present, past, or the future. And it won't have anything to do with good. And as that old Georgia man once said, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, if they're not going to treat you right, what makes you think they're going to teach you right? Make it make sense, black folk. If they're not going to treat you right, what makes you think they're going to teach you right? Now, this is an extraordinary story. Instagram, I need to use this device. I can't wait to see you now, Instagram, on flynewbeingqueentv.com. Thank you so much. Come on over, beloved. I'm getting ready to post this, family, and then I'll pull up the story that we're going to have this discussion about. As I'm doing that, family, please give us a thumbs up, thumbs up. Please like and share at the bottom of the screen. There should be a share button. I want you to check out the share button, copy it, and then you can paste the share button on your social media platforms. You can text it to someone. You can email it to someone and let them know that the Vicki Show is on right now for us to have this most important conversation. Thumbs up, thumbs up. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Be sure to like and share. All right. Be sure to like and share. If you're watching us on one of our other platforms, make sure that you like, that you share, and that you subscribe, would you? Thank you so very much. We ask that you do that, by the way, because it helps to draw other folk into the broadcast, okay? Now let me get ready to cue this for you now that I've just posted that. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. I pray that you all have been having an amazing few days. I know it's been quite tumultuous, all that has been happening in our world and around us, dear family. But we are not powerless, black family. I've said it before and I'll keep saying it again. We are in our finest hour. And even though some of my shows can seem heavy with some of the content, with these war briefings, it's important that you tune in and that you don't tune out or become overwhelmed. We always have to realize. And thank you so much for your kind words and compliments, family. Somebody mentioned my dress. I decided to wear my little festive dress since it's my first day back after my birthday and after the new year and after many of the holidays that some of you celebrate. And so I'm pleased and grateful for, again, the most amazing birthday yet. And that's thanks to the Beehive. And I give all kinds of shout outs, and it's information on my Instagram page where you can find out what took place at Vicki X Dillard. That's Vicki X Dillard. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing, nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips to balance in favor of fair use. Now, I must tell you that even though what I'm showing you now is not specifically, is not footage, but it's disturbing, nevertheless, this story. I'm going to be reading from two different articles. This first one was written by Holden Walter Warner for the Daily Mail. And again, you all know that I always check and recheck and double check these white supremacist publications. But I want you to listen. The shooting happened. Let me just give you the title first. And this is what I posted earlier. Cops shot a boy, 17, twice in the back, then removed the bullets with their hands before paramedics showed up, lawsuit claims. This is the picture that was made available. Did you all hear what I just said? That's the picture that was put on, that was in the article. Yes. Now listen. I'm going to read the title again, the headline again, rather. Cops shot a boy, 17, twice in the back, then removed the bullets with their hands before paramedics showed up, lawsuit claims. Here are the details. New lawsuit claims cops in Hayward, California, unjustifiably shot a teenager twice in the back in June before removing the bullets from him by hand. Are y'all listening? The lawsuit filed Monday centers on a shooting that took place around 4 a.m. local time on June 1st, family, during the unrest sparked across the country following George Floyd's death at the hands of police. According to the lawsuit, the 17-year-old boy, this is a 17-year-old black boy, who is not named, fell asleep in his cousin's car outside of a CVS early in the morning after going to a music video shoot in Oakland. When the teenager woke up, his cousin was no longer there and his cell phone died. So he attempted to drive away from the scene after hearing loud noises, the suit claims. It says the frightened teen then drove past officers who had pulled over a different car and alleges they opened fire and hit him in the back twice. He says he hid in bushes out of fear after taking the bullets. Officers then allegedly took the bullets out of the boy's body by hand before paramedics even responded to the scene. Now, I want to read, here's another picture on this particular article of his back. I want to read now. This is from another article, but I want you to pay close attention to the headline that this article uses. By the way, the 17-year-old's attorney is Adante Pointer. Is said to be the civil rights attorney representing him in this case. This is Mr. Pointer. He's mentioned in the other article too. Now I want you to get ready to listen as I read from the other article, but pay close attention to the headline in this next piece. This next piece is from Mercury News. And I think this headline I don't know why I was doing all this, is an appropriate description of what took place. Okay, now hold on, let me try to pull it back up. Watch this. While I'm doing this, family, keep liking, keep sharing. Keep liking, keep sharing. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Look at the headline from the Mercury News by David Diebold. This headline is exactly right. Do you see what it says there, family? This headline says, it's quoting from the lawsuit from this young boy's attorney that was filed. And it quotes, it says, "It's barbaric." Yes, you all saw it. "It's barbaric," suit alleges Hayward police shot teen, removed bullets from his bag. It also says that the city declines comment. Police said earlier officers defended themselves. It reads that a federal lawsuit filed this week alleges, as I mentioned before from the other piece, that a 17-year-old shot by police in June was struck twice in the back and that officers removed bullets from his body by hand before paramedics arrived. The lawsuit filed Monday. Remember, I just said that. I'm skipping now. It says that the Stockton teenager, his attorney said, now y'all listen, had awakened alone in his older cousin's car, had not looted or stolen anything, and was frightened and confused when he drove past officers. His back wounds suggest he was shot after he passed the officers, attorney Adante Pointer said Wednesday. Quote, this is from the young teenager's attorney. "It's barbaric," Pointer said, "the way in which they tried to minimize the harm they caused to this young man. The officers," quote, "took the bullets out and hauled him off to juvenile hall." Family, are you listening? He says it's completely inappropriate, and fortunately, it didn't cause more severe damage to him. So the attorney said, quote, "It's barbaric." The officers took bullets out and then hauled him off to juvenile hall. Please listen. The shooting happened around 4 a.m. on June 1st, which I mentioned in the other piece that it happened June 1st. And it says it happened June 1st while Hayward and other Bay Area cities were under curfew following nights of unrest in the aftermath of the Minneapolis police killing of George Floyd. Hayward police were called to a CVS pharmacy on Harder Road and Mission Boulevard on reports of looting and possible gunfire, officials have said. As police were detaining two men, listen, watch the setup, okay? As police were detaining two men in a parked car, other vehicles began leaving the parking lot, police said. One of the vehicles was driven by the 17-year-old, who authorities claimed drove directly toward Officer Samuel Tomlinson, who was standing outside his patrol car. Tomlinson fired first at the car, believing it might hit him. Officer Stephen Akaxos also fired his weapon, believing, quote, his partner had either been shot or struck by the vehicle, Hayward police said in a June 26 news release. After the shooting, the teenager crashed the car and then hid in a bush when police soon found him. Police said medical staff described his injury as a grazing wound. He was treated at a hospital, released, and arrested on suspicion of assault with a deadly weapon on a police officer. According to the lawsuit, the Stockton teen spent the evening with his older cousin earlier, driving to a music video shoot in Oakland. The teen then fell asleep and woke up in the car alone and in an unfamiliar parking lot to the sounds of loud noises. He tried to call his cousin, but his cell phone was dead. So he got in the driver's seat and tried to leave, the suit said. Pointer, remember that's the black attorney. Pointer said his client saw police, had stopped another vehicle, but did not hear any commands to stop. Next, he heard gunshots. The attorney said the teenager hid in the bushes out of fear. The June 1st shooting, family, was the third involving a Hayward officer within 2 weeks. It says Hayward police have consistently been on my radar, a police department where they sick dogs on people, beat people, shoot people, and it rarely catches the public's attention, Pointer said. This is Exhibit A of a police department which seeks to vilify the victim and justify the shooting. The public should be very concerned. Now, why did I want to have this discussion with you on today's brief war briefing about this young man, this child, this teenager? This was an open, yet again, attack on our young Black males, family. Even when you think about the time and what was happening in America, and specifically in this case, California, it says that this was during a time where they were dealing with curfews because of the George Floyd unrest that was taking place. And this is California. You and I both know that these racist law enforcement agencies utilize curfews not because they care about the public. They use them to exert authority and control, and they use them as an excuse to harm and murder Black folk. So because there was unrest around the country, the white supremacist looks for trouble. And so because it's already out there how upset and angry folk are, they do what they always do in terms of lying on reports and lying about what took place in the situation. Because even before this young boy, you hear that they'd already pulled over somebody, right? And they claimed that the police came out there in the first place because they received a call about a shooting or something, right? Yes, it says here, Hayward police were called to a CVS pharmacy on Harder Road and Mission Boulevard on reports of looting and possible gunfire. As police, watch this, remember, as police were detaining two men in a parked car. So they were very likely already harassing young Black men anyway. As police were detaining two men in a parked car, other vehicles began leaving the parking lot, police said. One of the vehicles driven by the 17-year-old, who authorities claim drove directly toward Officer Samuel. What we know is that the devil is still and forever will be a liar. And we're not talking about some spook. Remember, I gave you a hint and a clue a few minutes ago when I said 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 talks about a spirit of sin. No, the man of sin. Again, in scripture, they style the opposition as devil or Satan, or they use some other name for an animal. Somebody talk black to me. And they use the scriptures oftentimes names of animals to describe certain people and entities and spirits Because as I've taught you before, they operate with a particular trait that is similar to that particular animal. But I want us again to focus on the language that the attorney used to describe these white supremacist race soldiers' behavior in trying to cover up what they did. He says, quote, "It's barbaric." So in the first place, none of us have any reason to believe anything that these race soldiers said. We have no reason to believe that they were telling the truth when they said that this young boy was driving straight toward them and would have hit him. In any controversial encounter that we've found that these race soldiers have had with our people, it's always some kind of lie or cover up that we come to learn later. Is that right, Black family? Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, beloved. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Be sure to like and share. Again, my name is Vicki Dillard. I'm so pleased that you've joined us today. I'm typically here weekdays, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on FlyNubianQueenTV.com, the network for melanated people just like you. We're so grateful that the show is aired not only here on Fly Nubian Queen TV or on YouTube, but sometimes the show is aired on other platforms. So if you're watching us on one of our other platforms, please make sure that you like, that you share, and that you follow. We know the way you engage on other platforms are different than here. So make sure that you engage. Would you? Thank you so very much. Now I want you to listen to this. It's barbaric is the language that the attorney used. You've heard me use language like uncivilized before. Is that right, family? To describe the nature of our open enemies. Is that right? Barbarism. What is barbarism? Barbarism, and you can hear that connection with the word barbaric, means the absence of culture or civilization. Barbarism means extreme cruelty or brutality. The reason your sister continues to highlight the nature of the white supremacist is because I'm trying to, by a preponderance of evidence, show you, while it is completely fatal for black society, why it is stupid, why it is dangerous, why it is idiotic for you to continue to try to build their world, to get their approval, and for you to constantly make their ways of doing things the ultimate. The nature of our open enemies, dear family, whether you like it or lump it, is barbaric, as this young boy's attorney so correctly said. When you are dealing with barbaric behavior, that means extreme cruelty or brutality that denotes the absence of civilization. Why in the world are you trying to constantly become a part of their worlds? If their behavior is that of extreme cruelty, brutality, and absent of civilization. I'm highlighting this for those of you who are in desperate need of attending my global Cone Rehabilitation Center, digital rehabilitation center, coming to a theater near you. That wants to say we all the same. That wants to say it's true. It's not just that Black lives matter. All lives truly do matter. We're just the same. Some of you with your funny looking self sits there on the front line and begs white folk and say, after somebody blew one of our babies' heads off or something, you'll sit there and say, what if this was you? What if this was one of your children? You all sit there and say, we're just the same. I'm just like you. I want the same thing as you. Watch this line real quick. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, family. On the count of 3, for those of you that haven't, please hit that thumbs up button. Are you ready? Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Thumbs up. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Watch this. Thank you all so much for liking, sharing, and subscribing. Listen. Watch this line. This is some of y'all right here. Watch this. Watch this. Y'all know I can't scream yet, right? I'm still dealing with my medical stuff. So I'm going to need you to scream for me. But still feel the power of what I'm saying. Watch this. This is what some of y'all do. We all bleed red. I can't stand when people show what little knowledge they have when they say stuff like that. We all bleed red. Does anybody know other species that also bleeds red? I need somebody black to talk black to me. This is your sister. I'm your sister, the lady with the curly braids that's getting ready to sling them all over the globe today. Please answer that question for me. Does anybody know any other species that bleeds red? Does anybody else? I'm waiting. Is it true that there are other species that bleed red? Somebody talk black to me. So it's not, you're not sounding, you don't look profound or intelligent when you sit up there and say to someone that lynches you, kills you, rips your body off, sets it on fire, eats it, and do all that stuff. You don't look real smart when you say stuff like, we all bleed red. Like that means there are other species that bleed red too. Which means we're not calling nobody out their name, but I'm saying that their behavior borders on another species. So it's not an argument now with me whether or not I can truly prove in no limit of time that you were grafted and that you're not the original man, we won't even have that argument. How about that? Let's just say, who cares if it's true or not? Your behavior matches that of a species that belongs outside. Y'all play too much. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. I said, watch this. I said, because remember y'all remember when Nick Cannon got in trouble? And he had all the meetings with those rabbis and stuff, lying and stuff. Look at this picture. You see this young man's back with the bullets? And the cops, based on their lawsuit, dug them out with their hands. First of all, the removal of the bullets signifies guilt. It signifies guilt. If the cops are right that the young man was getting ready to run over them, first of all, we don't have to believe none of that because they lie anyway. But if he was going to run over you, how is it that both of you all end up shooting him in the back? That would suggest that the car was passing you and you were still alive and unhurt. If you're thinking someone is coming head on, driving towards you head on, you would be shooting like this if you thought they was going to run you over, which doesn't make much sense in terms of why he's got bullet holes in his back. Somebody talk black to me. Is that right, family? Make it make sense. But aside from that, before the paramedics got there, the people whose job it is to tend to the medical aid of this young teenager, you, as the race soldier, as the police officer that you are, you with your hands, according to this lawsuit, dug out the bullets. Somebody say barbaric. Somebody say that's not human. The fact that this is what's being said that was done, the act itself is barbaric and uncivilized. To dig out bullets from the young, beautiful body of this young black boy before help could even come. But the fact that you even thought to do that is even more dangerous. Did y'all hear what I just said? To be sure, the act was barbaric, uncivilized, savage. But the thought, let's dig the bullets out of his back, according to the lawsuit, before the paramedics come, speaks to guilt, speaks to the cover-up. Are y'all hearing me? Family, thumbs up, like and share. On the count of 3, let's do it together. On the count of 3, for those of you that haven't, let's hit that thumbs up button. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, thumbs up. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Thank those of you so much for tuning in. You know that I'm still working on myself, and so I just put a lozenge to help with the dryness in my throat. Thank you so much. Thumbs up, like, and share. I want you to understand, this is important. You've heard me talk about this kind of stuff almost ad nauseum, but you must never become numb to what I'm talking to you about right now, family. Listen to this. I said to be sure. Listen. I said to be sure the act after you've injured someone and could have killed him. I love you back, my eye. You turn around knowing full well that you could have caused more injury, and you with your bare hands, y'all think about that. You with your bare hands dig the bullets out of his back before the paramedics got there. I said the act is barbaric, but the thinking is barbaric. Who does that? Who thinks like that? Vicki, what's the big deal about you drawing our attention to the thinking of these race soldiers? Because I'm trying to show you there is no bottom for them. There is no extreme that they won't go to, beloved family. It's the way they think. And if you've got someone that thinks like that, you certainly cannot wrap your mind around the depths of all kinds of other activities that will follow such demonic thinking. That's what I want you to pay attention to. When you understand that this is how they think, you will then come to the right conclusion that this is how they are. This is how they be. This is how they is. This is how they am. That's not the best of English, but I'm specifically using the words is and am and be, which in some ways are different variants of the other. Some are defective verbs, but listen, defective words, but similarly connected. This is the reality, the essence, watch this, and the nature. And if you can finally get that, you will finally stop seeking their approval. You will start to finally be willing to do something substantive for you and your people. And you will start to see their world for the failure that it really is. I want to remind you, before I give you a couple of examples from the past, we won't be here all night. But before, I want to give you some examples that recently happened that points to exactly what I'm talking about. While I'm pulling this next piece up to remind you about something, be sure to check out our business school family at flynubianbusiness.com. If you want to learn how to start a Black business and learn from Black people, go to flynubianbusiness.com. It does not make sense, dear family, that in the world that we're in right now, where there is no question, our open enemy means to take us all out and to control every area of our lives. And one of the main ways they do that is economically. You would be out of your mind to rely solely and 100% on your open enemy. It just makes sense for you to begin to have an additional form of income or to begin to do for yourself and hire other Black people. Somebody talk Black to me. Now, while I'm pulling this up, thumbs up, like, and share. Check out our business school at Fly Nubian Business. flynubianbusiness.com. That's flynubianbusiness.com. Now watch this. How many of you all remember our dear sister from Texas? Y'all know I covered the story a long time ago. The story from last year. I believe her name is pronounced LaDejanique Lee. Do you all remember what happened to our dear sister, LaDejanique Lee? How many of you all remember this story? Apparently she ended up going by Day Lee. How many of you all remember this dear sister out of Texas? How many of you all remember that? Do you all remember? This looks LaDejanique. Watch this. How many of you all remember as it was said about her, she was a black woman alone. She's still here, thank God. But the way this was written on Twitter by her attorney, it says a black woman alone in a dark parking lot is stalked, harassed, and assaulted by a white male. Y'all remember that footage? He brandishes a gun, knocks away her phone. I saw the footage. Y'all remember seeing the footage? He brandishes a gun at her. Knocks away her phone when she tries to call for help, y'all. Then beats her mercilessly with blows to the head. This white man. Y'all remember that? DPD, it says, just found a way to charge her with a felony. Now, I think later on the charges ended up being dropped, but that's how white supremacy works. The footage of this white man, after stalking and harassing her, he assaults her, y'all. He pulls out a gun, brandishes a gun to threaten her. He knocks away her phone because she's getting ready to call the cops on him, right? And then he beats her mercilessly. When I saw the footage of this beast and how he hit our sister in the face and knocked away her phone, I was so disgusted. Somebody say barbaric. Yes, beloved. By the way, thank you all so much for your support of the Vicki calendar. We completely sold out. Even on Friday, I missed a message that I received from the from staffs telling me that the calendar had already sold out, even when I was talking about it Friday. But we already completely sold out. Your calendars will be on the way very, very soon. So congratulations to all of you that were able to get it. You guys bought them up so fast. I believe it's going to bless your life. I got my calendar. You guys, I became almost emotional when I looked at it because it's a product from my heart, and I'm so glad that we collaborated to make it manifest. I believe that you're going to enjoy it. So stay tuned for those of you all that got that. Thank you so much for your support of the Vicki calendar. Stay tuned for more good black products that's coming soon. Meanwhile, you can continue to support our store at shopfnq.com. That was barbaric. That was in Deep Ellum. That was barbaric in the way in which that white man did that. But let's stay, again, we don't have to go to the past, right? We don't have to talk about just the Emmett Till, the manner in which they murdered Emmett Till and mutilated his body, tortured his body, right? After shooting him in the head and all of the stuff that they did to him. Y'all remember that, right? You remember seeing the images of that. We don't need to go far back. Do we remember the circumstances surrounding Ahmaud Arbery? While this case is still going on, do you all remember the circumstances surrounding our dear brother, Ahmaud Arbery? These disgusting, savages, look at them. Responsible for the murder of our brother. They hunted him down, y'all, like a dog. Just look at him. They harassed him. We found out they had been harassing him for a long time. And we found out through text messaging that they had a connection to local police about watching our brother, right? Y'all remember that? They were working in cahoots with the police. The police actually expected them to be their eyes and ears. They was essentially deputized in a way. Y'all remember that? They hunted our brothers down. Do y'all remember the picture of the McDaniels, the father and son? A picture of them hunting. That's exactly what they did to our brother Ahmaud Arbery when they closed in on him. Now they're trying to act like they didn't mean to kill him, but we already know what happened. Remember, it's already been reported that when the younger, did I say McMichael? No, it should be Daniel, I believe. Watch this. Let me just go straight to the article. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, family. Keep liking and sharing. My name is Vicki Dillard, and I'm a proud contributor here on FlyNewBenQueenTV.com, the network for melanated people just like you. I'm typically here weekdays, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Thank you so much for joining us. Watch this. Remember, McMichael. That's what it is. I said McMichael the first time. Either way, McMichael, I wanted to make sure I was saying the last name right. Right? Watch this. Watch this. Ex-cop Gregory McMichael, ex-detective, and his son Travis McMichael, right? Father and son. After these disgusting campers murdered our brother, do you remember what the son said after he shot him? He didn't say, He didn't start screaming in disgust and despair. He didn't run to his body to make sure that he was alive, to see if he was alive, and start giving him CPR and say, oh, I'm so sorry. It was an accident. I flipped and I didn't mean to do that. Do y'all remember what he said? He called him an effing N-word. That's the McMichaels that were on the scene. The behavior, they stalked him like prey. Truly, they hunted him down, closed in on him, and took our brother's life. That's barbaric, but that ain't all. Do you all remember me discussing how essential the white woman is to the success of white supremacy? Somebody black talk black to me. So McDaniel's sister, why I keep saying McDaniel? Because one of them actually says it, I think. McMichael. Watch this. The McMichaels' daughter and sister, Greg and Travis McMichael. Watch this. The sister, y'all want to see a picture of her? This is the best one she could get for this Snapchat chat photo. She did her best for this one. This is the sister. Do y'all remember what she did? Do you all remember what she did? Some of you all have forgotten, but you all know it's my job. I do my best to connect the dots. What did she do, y'all? The sister of Ahmaud Arbery's killers, she posted the picture of his body to Snapchat. Y'all play too much. I'm looking at the New York Post. I want to remind you a few months ago what she said, what went down. Listen, the sister of the man charged with gunning down Ahmaud Arbery said she posted pictures of the unarmed black jogger's dead body online because she is, quote, a true crime fan. Lindsay McMichael, 30, admitted posting an unedited image of a blood-soaked Arbery lying on the street in Brunswick, Georgia, on Snapchat, but says she meant no harm, the Sun reported Monday. She says, quote, I had no nefarious or malicious intent when I posted that picture. The thing is, listen to what she said. Again, what she said, words are about your thinking. It's a reflection of your thinking. Listen to what she said about why she posted his blood-soaked body. Your father and brother is accused of a murder. She gets a hold of the picture and posts it on Snapchat. Watch what she said. I had no nefarious or malicious intent when I posted that picture. Excuse me. She said, the thing is, I'm a huge fan of crime, of true crime. She said, I listen to 4 or 5 podcasts a week. I'm constantly watching that sort of thing. I'm quoting her still, y'all. It was more of a holy S. I can't believe this has happened, she said. That's exactly right. To my beehive. He was a trophy, just like that dead deer of them posted up of the McMichael's hunting. That's exactly what she treated his body like too. Now, this is the sister that wasn't on the scene, but it still speaks to the nature of those individuals, and it points to what they're thinking. Black people don't think like that. That's not human. That's not a human trait. Our first instinct, if God forbid we found out that our daddies or our brother unjustly murdered somebody, our first thought isn't, oh my God, I'm such a true crime fan. I watch 4 or 5 podcasts a week. Let me get that blood-soaked picture of this guy that they're saying you guys killed, Dad, bruh, and let me post it to Snapchat. Motown, you better tell the truth. Can I give her a hug? Isn't that with both of Jean's brother, Brant Jean? Brant Jean's instinct was to hug Amber Geiger after gunning down his brother. I'm trying to show you guys the thinking. And even with that case of Botham Jean, while we're talking about barbaric, what? Y'all know I'm going to connect the dots. Thank you for bringing it up, even though that wasn't a part of my talking points today. But let's talk about it while you keep giving us a thumbs up, liking, and sharing. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, by the way, family, at Vicki X Dillard. Follow me on Instagram at Vicki X Dillard. With Ahmaud Arbery's killer, Watch this. I'm sorry, I said that wrong. I said that wrong. I said Ahmaud Arbery's killer. No, with Botham Jean's killer, Amber Geiger. With Botham Jean's killer, Amber Geiger. What did we find through records later, family? What was Amber Geiger doing, family? Before, almost nearly during the same time when the gun went off, and after, what, when we looked at the phone records, what did we learn that Amber Geiger was doing, y'all? Where my intelligent black people at? These are all stories that I've discussed. What did we learn that Amber Geiger was doing even after she, somebody said texting, not texting. She was sexting, baby. She was still trying to get her booty call. Somebody talk black to me. Somebody say black people don't do that. After gunning someone down, you still in the mood and still trying to solidify your booty call. And your brother, Brant Jean, can only tell the world he hopes that you don't go to jail. He don't want nothing to happen to you. I love you, and repeatedly asked the judge to give her a hug. That's sexting. The documentation that proves that she was sexting even after points to what, family? Points to their thinking. Somebody say black folk don't do that. In the case of Dylan Roof, that race soldier that was said to have murdered 9 black parishioners at Mother Emanuel's church. He fled. Police knew they were looking for a serial killer. Law enforcement's instinct wasn't to have their guards up, wasn't to be of the mind and the disposition of getting ready to take a serial killer into custody. Their instinct was, are you hungry? Let me take you to Burger King. Black family, we don't have to call somebody a name or say that, whatever. Your actions are not human. So I'm not finna sit here all day to figure out whether or not you mad and I'm going to technically call you this. No, your actions tell me enough. You're acting like you belong outside. Somebody say outside. You're behaving like the indoors is not your destiny. You're behaving like you know a little something about howling at the moon, which you was just technically doing. Your ancestors was just doing it yesterday before we introduced you to civilization and open water and told you to get up off of. Stop crawling. Somebody talk black to me. You was just howling at the moon. That was you. That was you. That was you. Full moon come around. It wasn't about you understand how the universe. Full moon. Y'all know I ain't got my voice all the way. That was you. History. This is not name calling. Family, we talking about history. Now you understand the reason why the white supremacist tries to control the history of black folk, and the reason why they control history books, because they don't want the history books to reflect. Oh, can I get some moons in the chat? Can I get a full moon? Crescent moon? Now you understand why they lie about you in history and why they control the knowledge so that that don't come out. This is another tactic for you all. Don't get into arguments, call people names. Family, I want people that, the intelligent black people that tune in to FlyNubianQueenTV.com, and certainly those that are considered to be VHIs, which are supporters of me. Don't argue with people when it come down to that kind of, I see all the moons in the chat. Thank you. We are classy. We're tactful. We're intelligent. When you're dealing with a bona fide white supremacist who's calling you the N-word, all kind of stuff, you getting ready to check out in line, or you getting ready to get on the elevator, you don't even respond to it. All you do to get yourself through it is just say, they'll be looking at you like, what you say? And you hit the button, number 11, to go to the 11th floor. Or while you giving them your credit card to pay for your groceries, you just say, they're going to look at you real funny and strange. Ask them, does that ring a bell? Somebody talk black to me. I'm telling you this not to make fun of the other people, but just to let you know, family, don't believe the lies about yourself. And to point to the fact, this is what y'all was doing before we intervened. See, we interceded to stop that. I don't believe in interceding no more to stop that. I just believe in interceding to save yourself and get away from that. People that believe in howling at the moon, I just think you need to leave them to themselves instead of trying to integrate with that. Instead of trying to appease and please that and get awards and offices with that. Somebody talk black to me. That should give you comfort. Y'all play too much. We talking about history. We're not talking about making fun. And no, it's history. This is called facts. Y'all play too much. Thumbs up, family. Thumbs up, like and share. Now watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Y'all play too much. Why y'all laughing at me? Y'all listen. So her instinct is to say she a true crime fan. So her immediate thing to do is, your daddy is accused of killing this. Your brother's accused of murdering. Okay, give me the picture real quick, y'all, so I can post it on Snapchat. She said her instinct, she said it wasn't nothing malicious. She said it was more like holy S. Not, oh my God, I'm so sorry for this man. I can't believe my family did this. I wonder how this would make his family feel if they see his bloody soaked body out there on Snapchat would feel. That wasn't Karen's instinct. There's a phrase that I've talked to you guys before about called sadism. SADISM, sadism. How many of you all remember me discussing that with you? Sadism. Sadism, family, is a tendency to derive pleasure, especially sexual gratification, from inflicting pain and suffering or humiliation on others. Sadism, I said, is a tendency to derive pleasure, even sexual gratification at times, from inflicting pain or suffering or humiliation on someone. Did you all hear what I just said? These few examples that took place in recent history, somebody mentioned our brother Jacob Blake not too long ago. This is a fuzzy picture, but this is one of the ones that was available. Of course, we saw the video footage, but I don't want to play any disturbing video right now. Do y'all see this fuzzy picture where the cops shot our brother? Now he's paralyzed close range while he's pulling on his shirt. Y'all see that? That close, shooting our brother. Excuse me. While pulling on his shirt. The manner in which they do. But somebody say this is not new. I have repeatedly reminded you of, shown you examples of this type of behavior manifested by our open enemies. Do you remember when I was having the discussion with you on a few occasions about Jim Crow lynchings, and I've connected the dots and I told you that it was actually a sacrifice to the Christian God, and I was reading you an excerpt from our dear brother's book, Understanding the Black Man. Y'all remember that? I repeatedly talked to you guys about that, right? Do you remember? And I want to show you a couple of these images really quick. These are just pictures of lynchings. We discussed the lynching, and we also discussed, for example, the burning of William Brown. Y'all remember the burning of William Brown from Omaha in 1919, the early 20th century? When you look at how when they were murdering us in slow motion, y'all, barbecue style, and look at their faces. They're jovial, they're laughing. They're not disgusted. They can take it. It doesn't move them. And this was something that was done on a frequent basis to inflict torture and fear in black folk, right? Watch this. Remember when I discussed those things with you, I was explaining to you, not only giving you the connection between why it was often done on quote unquote the Lord's Day, because a lot of these lynchings took place on a Sunday. And remember, I taught you that and read you excerpts about the fact that a lot of the lynchings not only took place on Sunday, which was considered to be what the Lord's Day, but they were conducted by actual clergy in white churches, right? And remember, I told you that when they were doing this to primarily black men, it was a sacrifice to their Christian gods. Remember? Do you recall when I broke down for you? And let me just read you an excerpt. This is not, I didn't want to go over all of this again, but I wanted to go further and remind you of something else that I had brought to your attention before. And that is, this part specifically says that these public ritual lynchings was a performative affirmation of fundamentalism, Christian faith in a white supremacist national community. Even the most brutal and barbaric features, there's that word barbaric again. I bless your gifts 1,000-fold. Those of you that are supporting Black media, thank you so very much. Thumbs up, family. Thumbs up, like and share, would you? On the count of 3, for those of you that haven't, please hit that thumbs up button. 1, 2, 3, thumbs up. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Watch this. It goes on to say, even the most brutal and barbaric features of the sacrificial lynching, slow, drawn out torture and mutilation, burning and incineration, the collection of body fragments, and the purchase and circulation of photographs. Remember, that's that same thing that the McMichael's sister was doing with the photographs. When I did my show months ago on it, remember I told you that the modern postcards that the white supremacists would use to commemorate and brag about these lynchings, the modern postcard is at Snapchat. Remember? Where my day ones at from months ago, you remember I discussed that. Anyway, in the post-Reconstruction era of Jim Crow, the ritual performance of mass mob sacrificial lynching functioned for the dominant white Christian community as acts of devotion and defense, as blood sacrifices to a God whose covenant with the white Christian community had been violated by the intrusion of blackness into the sacred spaces of the covenant. Within the evangelical worldview, sacrificial lynching reaffirmed a sacred covenant among the members of the white Christian community and between that community and their God. The ritual sacrifice of black citizens was a performance of Christian faith. I'm going to say that again. For those of you that's out here talking about these are your brothers and sisters in Christ. I said, within this evangelical worldview, sacrificial lynching reaffirmed a sacred covenant among the members of the white Christian community and between the community of their God. The ritual sacrifice of black citizens was a performance of a Christian faith. Complex performances that reproduce pre-emancipation race relations in a social order sanctified by sacred covenant. When you look again at this picture of our brother William Brown, it's important to remember what I taught you before, and that is Brown was a sacrificial victim, a burnt offering to a Christian god of the white mob. The flames charring and consuming Brown's body, considered by some to be the flames of Jehovah at the burning bush. These are the white evangelicals' beliefs. That's what that was about. But I've taught you that many times before. What I want you to recall, I've discussed this too, but not as frequently. Again, I'm showing you the thinking. I'm showing you the thinking. When we hear stories of castration of our people, right? When they would cut off the phallus of the man. Again, we're pointing to the thinking. Listen. It's a quote here that says, as noted in Wilkins and Taylor's 1977, the white man sees, this is a quote, sees the Negro, the essence of his own sexuality, that is, those qualities that he wishes for, but fears he does not possess, and that is why he must castrate him. It says part of the underlying logic, y'all listen, part of the underlying logic of the ritual of castration, therefore, is, quote, sexualized transfer of power. Though the castration rite, white men hope to acquire the grotesque powers they have assigned to the Negro phallus, which they symbolically extol by the act of destroying it. Some of you are rightly saying that don't make no sense. Yes, because that's barbaric, beastly, satanic. We don't think like that, which is why I'm highlighting how this is a consistent pattern of barbarism. Our brother points this out. Some of you all remember during the war. How many of you all remember Abu Ghraib? Do you all remember this photo? How many of you all remember this photo? We got to connect the dots, family. Y'all remember that photo? One of the things that our brother excuse me, reminds us of here is that proof that neither the European's nature, his global objectives, his methods, nor his fetishes have any way changed since slavery is in the facts that have come out of the Abu Ghraib prison in Iraq, where America holds its war on terror detainees. It says, he's quoting now from Professor Marianne from Trinity University in her article, The Sexual Politics of Abu Ghraib, Hegemony, Spectacle in the Global War on Terror from 2006. Listen to what this quote from this piece says from 2006. It says, news of abusive treatment, torture, and murder of detainees by U.S. military and intelligence personnel at Abu Ghraib prison in Iraq shocked the world, bursting into public view in May 2004. The stories were accompanied by sensational photographs, y'all remember this, of naked prisoners, some engaged in simulated sexual acts. With few exceptions, the subjects of these photos are living persons in the thrall of powerful and sadistic captors. They document the crimes as well as the impunity with which they were committed. These photos, some depicting corpses and brutal interrogation practices, are like stills from pornographic snuff films. Interrogation practices, yes, are like stills from pornographic snuff films, statements of the utter worthlessness of the prisoners and life and death power over them exercised by their captives. How many of y'all remember that? Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, family. Give me a couple more minutes. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Keep liking and sharing, would you? Again, don't forget to check out our store at shopfnq.com and our Black Business School at flynubianbusiness.com. That's flynubianbusiness.com. Thank you so very much. Now listen to this part. I'm just trying to show you this long pattern. I'm talking about in times past, many, many decades ago, last century, but I'm also talking about just a few years ago in your day and in your time and in recent history. In the beginning of the book on page 7, he says, the white man feminized the black man. How many of y'all remember me quote this all the time? The white man feminized the black man before a black man was ever born in America. During the age of European expansion, European race theory, their pseudoscientific theories on the character and nature of the races of men characterized the African. This was the worldview, family. This is what I'm trying to get y'all to see. This was the worldview based on this European expansion, European race theory. Characterized the African as the lady of the human race. The black man in particular, they considered him to be the lady of the race. I'm going to quote you now from page 94. Again, I'm reading from Understanding the Assault on the Black Man, Black Manhood, and Black Masculinity. You can get it from NOI.org. You can get it from NOI.org. From Dr. Wesley Muhammad. I've quoted this many, many times before, but check it out, okay? Watch this. This quote I'm reading to you now is saying Robert E. Park, one of America's most influential sociologists, studied race relations with Booker T. Washington at Tuskegee Institute for several years, from 1907 to 1914. Y'all listen. From there, he went to the University of Chicago, where he became the father of the School of Sociology. During a seminar on the Negro in the Old South, Park claimed, I bless your gift, Big Mike, 1,000-fold. Watch this. In a seminar, this Park character claimed, Robert Park, remember I said he's allegedly one of America's most influential sociologists, who studied race relations with Booker T. Washington, right? Well, this Park character says, quote, the Negro is the lady of the races, talking about the man, delicately proportioned, small-boned, devoted to the arts of music and dance, with exquisite manners, the utmost in politeness. She, while he's referring to a man, he says she cannot bear to hurt anyone's feelings. Y'all, that right there is heavy. He claimed further, the Negro has always been interested rather in expression than in action. I hope y'all can get the lessons. Black men, I need y'all to hear me real good while I read you the rest of this quote, because I'm showing you the mindset of these individuals. Listen, the Negro has always been interested rather, this is a quote. This is how the white man sees the black man. The Negro has always been interested rather in expression than in action. Interested in life itself rather than in its reconstruction or reformation. The Negro is, by natural disposition, neither an intellectual nor an idealist like the Jew, nor a brooding introspective like the East Indian, nor a pioneer and frontiersman like the Anglo-Saxon. Y'all listen to these things. He is primarily an artist, loving life for its own sake. His is an expression rather than action. He is, so to speak, the lady of the races. Did y'all hear that? Did you all hear that? Somebody talk black to me. Did you all hear that? Thumbs up, family. His métier. His métier is an expression rather than an action. That just means his profession or occupation is an expression rather than action. That's what it is. He is, so to speak, the lady of the races. The piece goes on to say how Park co-authored with Ernest W. Burgess the first American textbook on sociology geared toward research. Watch this. It says he exerted an enormous influence on the development of a scientific theory of race relations. At his time, he may have been responsible for more studies on race and ethnicity than any other American sociological theorist. His Negro as the lady of the races theory therefore made a deep impact, giving pseudo-scientific support for the earlier propaganda employed by the European colonists and American slave masters to justify their fetish for black male flesh. Of course, there's so much more, family, that I could really go there on right now, but I won't do that. I'm just trying to once again give you some context that this is a precedent. The thinking, the mind of your open enemy being laid bare. Vicki, why do you want us to keep this in mind? Why are you talking to us about this story of these race soldiers that shot this brother in the back and then with their bare hands pulled the bullets out and then took him to juvenile detention center, to a juvenile detention center? Thank you, Alice, for your gift. I bless your gift 1,000-fold. Yes, ma'am. Because I want you to start the year off right. I want you to start the year off believing in your very Black self and in your very Black people. I want you to understand that they're showing us more and more and more barbaric actions and traits. They're becoming more and more and more unapologetic. And I'm wondering, when are we finally going to say that we're going to do what the title of that movie says? That's to get out. Get out of the way of white supremacy. Stop the preoccupation and obsession with how they do life. I'm hoping that you are seeing these situations as another example of why we must take our lives seriously enough now not to wait for another dead Black person and another terrible story of one of ours being attacked or murdered or something. The reason we're telling you to start Black businesses and giving you actionable information like go to flynubianbusiness.com so that you can learn how to do that from people that know the game. The reason we suggest to you to go to flynubianmoney.com so that you can learn from Black folks about money and investing. The reason we emphasize the importance of having more than just one source of income, especially when the main source of your income is on the modern plantation. They use economics to control you. Some of you all consider taking those shots if they offer you money. Some of you will throw your own mamas and daddies away, and children for that matter, for money. When you are self-sufficient economically, you can't be punked as easily. They can't extort you like that. Even though you should be able to be extorted anyway if you're a person of principle. When America wants to punish someone in this country, but we see it manifested also around the world, when she's conducting her geopolitical strategies, America most oftentimes, before she just goes in to do all-out war and sheds blood, America likes to first impose what you call economic sanctions. Is that right, family? America goes in under the guise of, I'm going to give all. How many of you all saw the budget? How many of you all saw all those different foreign countries that America was giving billions and millions and billions and millions of dollars to, while they only gave you a little raggedy $600 and you had to fight like hell to get that? Israel got big fat check. So many different foreign nations, right? They give and give and give, and then they go around bragging saying that we're the most giving nation, we're the most altruistic, we're very charitable. It's a trick. They cause you to rely upon that money to keep you in line. It's an act of warfare. So when you get out of line or they want to exert pressure on you to conduct some kind of policy or to force you to put a certain person in political position, to force you to give up some of your resources to America, America would then pull back the money. Do you remember Obama's funny looking self? Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. I got to go, but I just got to give you a couple of more things. Thumbs up, thumbs up. How many of you all remember under Obama's administration even? Y'all know I'm not supposed to be doing all this hollering. Barack Hussein Obama. Remember, he took his funny looking self over to Kenya. Before he got there, remember, he was trying to pressure the Kenyans to enact some gay LGBT legislation. How many of y'all remember that? Somebody talk black to me. This was a few years ago. The Kenyans were rebuffing the Obama administration's tactics to pressure them to impose certain LGBTQ policies. So much so that President Kenyatta of Kenya, Obama ended up going over there. They held a live simultaneous press conference together. And one of the reporters got up there and said to ask Obama about the Kenyans LGBT, stance in society on things. And then they asked President Kenyatta about Obama's demand for policy changes. The first thing America does to force you to do something is they threaten to take the money from you. Y'all play too much. But the Kenyans made it clear, because I watched it live, the press conference, and I was fascinated. President Kenyatta so eloquently made it clear some of the things that they have in common with America. One of the things I remember him saying was something about entrepreneurship and a few other things. He said, but on this thing, we disagree. He made it clear that in his country, they don't have the LGBTQ stuff, ain't no problem over here. Obama was trying to threaten them. They tried to threaten the money and all that. Watch this. But the parliamentarians in Kenya threatened to demonstrate against Obama butt naked. Y'all play too much. Go research this. The Kenyan politicians, the Kenyan parliamentarians, before Obama's funny looking self landed, they put out a threat and said, if you do it, if you come here, that's their words, if you come here with that gay talk, they made it clear to him that they were going to protest against him, the parliamentarians, not just the regular people. And they was going to, some of them, that was some of their threats. They was going to get together, because the parliamentarians were the ones that were making the threat. But they were going to get together, both men and women protesters, butt naked. Watch what they said. So that Obama could know the difference between a man and a woman. I didn't say it, the people said it. The Kenyans said it. So Obama tamped down some of that foolishness a little bit. And he ended up addressing it when one of the reporters over there come asking him, both he and President Kenyatta, the question. But the Kenyans said, okay, come over here with that. We're going to butt naked. It's going to be some men and women, and we're going to see if you know the difference. So that's why Obama's funny looking self backed down a little bit. But the threat was economics first. That's how she does business in America and around the world. And some of you make stupid decisions because of the money. Some of you can be bought and sold. Some of you will let your children get that shot. You know what I'm talking about. Because you trying to make ends meet on your rent. And you'll risk their lives, their bodies, what we don't know, because you need some gas money. Somebody talk black to me. In some black homes in particular, they know full well that the man is working. But still doesn't quite have enough to cover his family yet. So the family goes in to request some assistance. What do they tell you? They tell the woman, we'll give you some assistance and some money. Excuse me. With this caveat, what's the caveat, family? What's the caveat, family? We'll give you this money. But they said the man can't be in the house. We'll give you more assistance if the man ain't in the house. Y'all better pay attention. Family, this is a very telling story about how your open enemies are becoming more open and brazen. It's not about how crazy and uncivilized they are. The question is, if somebody shows you who they are and you keep acting like they're not that for 500 years later, after knowing the truth, the question isn't if they're crazy and what's wrong with them. The question is not about whether or not they're crazy. The question becomes, what's wrong with you? Economics is so important. It's because it's how we build our own new world, operating as a nation within a nation, family. Economics is important because if you have more than one source of income, or you're reliant upon yourself and you're self-sufficient, that means that you're not as susceptible to selling out your soul to the highest white supremacist bidder. You ought to be integral anyway, but it makes it less likely. That's important. This story is not just about the white supremacists. This is about what are we going to do about it for our survival and our ways of life. It's time for us to get serious about supporting each other even more. Black business ownership. Go to flynubianbusiness.com. Getting your money together, flynubianmoney.com. Are y'all hearing me today? I love you all to pieces. Let me get it ready to go now. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Don't miss tomorrow's show, same time, same place, right here on flynubianqueentv.com, the network for melanated people just like you. Again, you can get the book for those of you that have been asking. It's called Understanding the Assault on the Black Man, Black Manhood, Black Masculinity. Get it at, I think you could get it at the store at noi.org. Follow me on Instagram at Vicki X Dillard. Check out our store at Shop F&Q. And again, a great big thank you to all of you that celebrated my birthday throughout this week. You, the VI, have made it possible. It was absolutely beyond my wildest dreams. You can learn more about what took place if you go to my Instagram page at Vicki X Dillard. I received direct video messages and love and gifts from all over the world. You all blew my mind. Thank you so very much. And I also look forward to seeing you on Instagram, or Twitter rather, at Vicki X Dillard. Instagram is Vicki X Dillard. Instagram, Dillard Vicki, my last name first. I love you so much. I bow to you. You are my bliss. It is such a privilege and an honor to be with you.